What's going on, everybody? Coach Brian Klepacki coming at you with Coach Chris. Criticalbench, thanks for tuning in. Plate-loaded machines, they're awesome. We actually have 5 of them in our compound. Now, your gym, you might have 100 of them. There's a whole bunch of different types of plate-loaded machines. The benefits are awesome. They're great. You can do isolateral training. You can get the feel of lifting some iron. You can use different ranges of motion. There's so many different benefits. The reason why we have these particular 5 is that these are the 5 that we love the most. But if you want to fast forward a little bit to go to a workout, we're going to do a workout here at the end of the video using our 5 machines. So if you don't want to hear anything I'm saying, even though the stuff I'm saying is going to be valuable, and you definitely don't want to miss out on this, but if you're an expert at plate-loaded machines, just fast forward a little bit and watch us work out here. With that said, let's get right to an actual plate-loaded machine. Like I said, we've got 5 machines. The T-BARROW is one of the machines that we're using here. Now, to get positioned correctly, you want to make sure that your feet are obviously on the little pads there. Your chest is firmly planted on the chest pad. You got a nice little arch in the lower back. Your butt's not sticking too high up in the air, and your chest is. It should just look neutral and feel neutral. So you got a T-BARROW. The reason why it's called a T-bar is the letter T. If you look straight down, you got it. You got the idea. So when you're pulling it, take it off the safety hook, pull back, squeeze those lats, squeeze those shoulders back, and back down. Very simple movement. Now notice how he keeps his head right in line. His chest isn't coming up off the pad too much. It will come up a little bit naturally because the further back you squeeze, your chest is just naturally going to come up off the pad a little bit. Strict form, good form. So that's your back. Now we're just going to go right down the line of what we have here set up at the compound. Power squat, squat press, whatever you want to call it. It's not a leg press. It's not a Smith machine. This is a power squat. So he's in the front squat position from here. Feet are set up in position. He's got the safety handle on his left. That releases the latch. Squat down, stand back up. So the front squat with this particular one is a little more aggressive than what Coach Chris is gonna do next. So feet are in a good squat position. Knees are staying open. Ankles are staying planted. Keeping a nice braced core, not letting that spine collapse as he squats up and down. Flips around. Now he's into the more traditional back squat where the pad is more on the upper parts of the shoulders and the traps. Feet are kind of in the same position. If you need to adjust the foot placement, that's fine to accommodate your posture. Same thing, release the handles, down, up. So again, this is more of a vertical movement, whereas the front squat, which you just saw him do, is more of an aggressive, forward-leaning position. This is probably one of the hardest machines to use, and I mean that just because it's challenging. The weight, not just the technique, but also the weight of the contraption. Yeah. First, when we got this machine in our facility, we were just using just the machine. We're like, wow, this is actually harder than it looks. So I'm impressed with the people that load this thing up and just knock it out. That's very impressive. Great machine. All right, moving down the rack on our 3rd machine. This is probably my favorite machine, one of my favorite machines in not only in our facility, but plate-loaded machine. It's a high row, lat pull down, close grip pull down, whatever you want to call it. Made by Hammer Strength. Hammer Strength is like the icon of plate-loaded machines. So real quick, feet are on the floor or the foot placement here. You got a knee pad. This anchors your body down because you can lift a lot of weight using this machine here. He looks pretty good to me. Chest is on the pad. He's going to reach up, grab those handles, keeping the chest up, shoulder blades pulled back and retracted, chin tucked in, trying to keep the head nice and relaxed. Pulling down, squeezing those lats, squeezing those shoulder blades back. Now, if he wants to do some isolateral training one arm at a time, he can alternate. He can even keep one arm retracted back and pull with the other arm. That's one of the beautiful things about plate-loaded machines. Most of them, if not all of them, have the option to use just one limb at one time. Cool, moving on. Chest press. Yeah, who doesn't love this one? This is one of our favorites for sure. So This particular one is more of a hybrid. This has adjustable seat positioning, so when you adjust the seat to different heights, you're actually targeting a different part of the chest. I know that some hammer strength machines, or a hammer strength machine has a specific design built to it just to hit the inclined part of the chest, the upper part of the chest. This is kind of like a variable hybrid machine. You're able to adjust the foot or the seat positioning in order to get, like I said, different parts of the chest. When you're getting into this machine, make sure that the handles line up even with the nipple line. That's going to be the main thing. Keeping the head back on the pad, chin tucked in, bracing the core, stabilizing with the legs. One arm at a time as well if you want to isolate one pec at a time. We like to use this as like a finisher. We just throw some weights on. We do drop sets. It's a great machine to use if you really want to completely fatigue the chest. Now, real quick, we'll go through the different seat adjustments. Like I was talking about, the higher the seat, the more of a declined lower press you're doing. So now you get the bar is going to be, or the handles are going to be below the nipple line, and you're going to be hitting more of the lower part of the pec. And obviously just the opposite, if you raise or lower the seat all the way down, it's more of an inclined position. Because now the bar, the handles are right above the nipple line, and you're going to be pushing more upward. And just with every exercise, make sure you're contracting the muscle, get that mind-muscle connection, think about the muscles being used. Last but not least, let's get to our overhead shoulder press. Now this one's made by Prime. Not all shoulder press machines are like this. This has 3 different bars on this range of motion. It places the emphasis, the peak resistance at different parts of the range of motion. All you need to do is read the label, see what it says to see where you want to hit the part of the shoulder. So we're for this machine, we're at the peak resistance is placed at the end range of the exercise. So that's the upper part, the lockout portion of this particular lift. Again,
actually this one is the middle.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, the numbers are out of order. So I had to read the label. We just throw the plates on and just do whatever we want to do. But this one is at the middle. So this is just kind of like your traditional shoulder press. If you want to isolate more of the upper part of the shoulders, obviously you would read the label like I didn't do. And knock that out. So again, if your machine doesn't have the options to change up where the resistance is, don't be alarmed. You'll still get a good workout doing whatever your machine allows you to do. Isolate, you can do isolateral movements. So yeah, that's, again, like I said, we only have 5 machines here. Your gym might have 100, might even have 50, whatever it is. They're all uniform in their design. They all do pretty much the same thing. You're allowed to load up iron on the bar. You can face in. There's so many different options you can use when you're doing plate-loaded machines. I think that's pretty much covering the plate-loaded aspect of these machines. Last, but I'll leave you with this, is that these machines aren't necessarily for more advanced. I mean, as a coach, I've put senior citizens on these. I've put people who can't do dumbbells because they don't have the stability in their wrist or their ankles to do squats. You're actually fixed in a machine. That's one of the benefits of using machines for training, is that you're kind of in a more safe setting than you would be if you're doing bodyweight movements or suspension training or even dumbbell training. So don't be intimidated by these. Obviously, adding weight will make it a little more challenging, but if you're new to them, take all the weights off and just get familiar with using the machine. Adjust the seat if you have to, adjust the handles if you have to. But the main thing is try them out. You might actually learn to love them. So that summarizes plate-loaded machines. We're going to get into a workout here using our 5 machines, because I know some of you wanted to see us work out, because we need to work out. That's what we do, right? So we're going to actually get into a workout here in just a second using our 5 machines, and we'll give you the breakdown of what we're going to do in here in just a moment. So stay tuned. We're going to get ready to knock out a plate-loaded workout for you. there you have it. Everything you need to know about plate-loaded training, the benefits, how to set it up, and we even threw in a little workout for you at the end there. Hope you enjoy that. That was a tough one. I mean, we got burned out in no time, but that's the beautiful thing about plate-loaded training. So before you go and check out some other videos we've got, I want you to check out something we wrote. It's a report on Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's called The Legacy of Arnold. It talks about his career, acting, bodybuilding, as a politician. It's a cool report. It's free. There's a couple ways to get it. One, you can go to our video description area. This corner that we're pointing at, there's a little tiny arrow under the video here. Click it. That's going to open up our video description area. You'll see a whole bunch of writing, but there's a link at the top, criticalbench.com/Arnold. Click that. Give us your email, and we'll send the report over to you immediately. The easier way to get this report is simply click right here. Click it. Give us your email. Then the report's on its way to you. Not only that, make sure you subscribe to our channel by clicking over here. Also, check out this video right here that I know you're going to find helpful. Comments, questions, suggestions, leave them now. We'll get back to you as soon as we can. Coach Brian, Coach Chris, see you later.